Hey, it's Les from Comfortable Shoes Studio, and this is another episode of Art Making. In this episode, I will be preparing a sketchbook to be an art journal. So, when I get to about the 1/3 to halfway done part of my current Everything Everywhere sketchbook or art journal, I pull another journal or sketchbook out of my stack of journals and I start preparing it to be my next journal. So in this case, this is another Five Below sketchbook. I've moistened every center fold of paper in every signature and just torn them out. I tore out about a 1/4 inch worth of paper from the sketchbook, and it just makes it have some room for when I collage in it. All right, so this sketchbook is an inexpensive one from Five Below. It does have a plastic coating on it. And I need to prepare that so that paint will stick to it as well as collage materials. So I'm just giving it a light sand with 180 grit sandpaper. I'm getting into the little nooks and crannies there, giving it a little bit of a sand. Then I spray it down and give it a wipe down with a microfiber cloth, as well as my entire work surface, because those little plastic fibers got everywhere. I don't think I would buy another one of these because of that. All right, so I am scraping a layer of Liquitex Basics paint onto the front and back cover. I'm using I guess the best way to call it is like a beauty scraper, beauty spatula. I don't know what you'd call it. Anyway, it's a silicone scraper thing. I ordered a 4-pack of them years ago on Amazon. I've altered them to have a flat end. So they're great for squeegeeing on thin layers of paint and glue, and they're great for cleaning containers out, which is what they're really designed for. So in this case, I'm just, using a really thin layer of Liquitex Basics in one of my favorite colors. And then I'm coming back in, I'm using some, I don't remember if this is craft acrylic or if it's just another student grade acrylic paint. I'm using a chip brush or an acid brush. This is one of those brushes you can get at Dollar Tree that has plastic bristles that are very coarse and a metal handle. They're meant to be disposable. The metal handle will rust over time. It's got a shiny finish, but they rust really easily. They're not meant for repeated use, and yet I keep reusing mine. I've got a couple of them and just use them again and again and again. What I like about these brushes is that you get really visible brush strokes, and it won't spread anything too thin. They're not they're not a great brush if you are looking to get really thin, precise lines or any detail work. They're really great for brushy strokes and that kind of like rough texture. So it's great like inside an art journal. I just use them all the time. And I do wash and reuse mine, so as long as you let them drip dry bristle side down, they work great. All right, so every single one of my art journals ends up with a ribbon place marker. Even though it's not necessarily necessary, I really like them, so I'm just putting some glue on some ribbon, tucking that down into the spine, and pushing it in place with some tweezers. Yeah, and you can see in this image, I've already decorated the cover. It went from teal to skeletons. I also added a ribbon in there, so now I'm adding a pocket. And I'm pulling some collage materials, and I'll show you why. So I picked up a glue pad. It's a little silicone sheet, and you use that with glue to keep it from, the glue from sticking to your tabletops. It just helps keep things clear. This one in particular is meant for hot glue guns. So I'm just spreading some Tombow Mono aqua glue onto this pocket and gluing it in place. And there we go. Got a pocket and an elastic. I do have a video showing how to do the elastic, taking a piece of collage material and using a glue stick to glue it down so that the other elastic end piece is not visible. So using up my collage materials that I made like 2 years ago or a year ago, and that pocket will hold a whole variety of things. Now, the other thing that I always do in my art journal is I make a sort of name page. It always has my contact information in it. And since I'm on a skull kick again, which is pretty typical for me, I'm using one of these collage pages that I made a year ago or 2 years ago, with skulls all over it and little marks that I made. So building up a page of collage. So all right, Revolution, that came out of a magazine we got in the mail. And I'm just putting that on the side. I don't know why it caught my eye in that moment, but maybe that's the theme of this journal. I don't know. These are some DIY deco tapes that I made. I have a whole video on making these, and I'm just using them to add in the start date for this particular journal. So cutting up the numbers on here to use those so that I have my date in here. Just piecing that together. And yeah, so this is just a really simple way to do this. And then I'm going to use some more decorative tapes that I made. This is a really, really simple way to make some deco tapes. It's acrylic paint on a paper medical tape. I know that this technique has been around for years and years, but of course I'm doing my own twist on it. I'm going to have a couple of videos on the deco tapes coming out soon. So I think it's always a good thing to revisit classics. So, all right, so that's how the basics of how I set up and start a new art journal. Yes, I decorate the covers. I know that there's some conflicting opinions on that. I really like making each of my covers super individualized, and that just works for me. All right, so thanks for being here. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Share it if you really enjoyed it. And thanks, and I'll see you next time. Bye.